Welcome to 1993. This is Regeneration X, where we take a look at the events, the movies, the music that make up our favorite decade. It is March of 1993, and today we're going to take a look at video games from March of 93. With me are the two experts of the era. Wesley, how you doing?
What's up, man? Life is good and just got better.
Cass, great to have you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, and let's go back in time.
Let's go back in time. Any of you guys dabble in a little arm wrestling?
Arm wrestling? Over the top?
Maybe
Stallone?
What if you could go to the arcade and get your fix against a robot? This is the footage I found of this one. Normally I just show the screenshots, but I had to show you what was going on here.
Let's go. I'm pulling for the guy. Man is greater than machine. I remember that this was a thing, but I never tried it because
you didn't want to get punked by the
I knew I was weak.
The house always wins.
Never been in the gym.
How strong do you have?
I've never been in the gym. The house always wins. What's the point in me getting embarrassed in front of all these people?
Right. See, he had to get a little outside assistance because that thing wasn't moving.
I mean, daggone RoboCop over there.
Yeah, who wants to arm wrestle RoboCop? Agreed, Cass.
He's moving on.
Oh, you're gonna go to the next level when your friend just cheated for you?
That's the problem with this kind of game, is it doesn't know if you're cheating or not.
Was that fun? Was that worth the quarter that you put in?
Look, a man with using both arms and assistance from his friend had trouble in the second round.
In the second round, bro. You think 98-pound, at most 13-year-old me was gonna do anything with that?
I probably tried it once. No chance I won. Probably, and it was probably a day when the arcade was empty. You know what I mean? I'm like looking around, no one's here. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Moving on a little bit. This was on the TurboGrafx, based on the band Motley Crue, as you can see in the beginning image there. I don't know if they had the official rights or not, but they it's called Crue Ball.
Nothing wrong with a pinball.
A little heavy metal pinball, as you can see by the skulls. And
sure, heavy metal strangely gets represented a lot in pinball games.
You know what? That is true now that you mention it. I guess it's something about, you kind of got that, I don't want to say horror movie theme that accompanies heavy metal, but kinda in the neighborhood of it, you know? So you can throw up the skulls and the darker stuff and throw some heavy metal behind it, and it works.
And the pinball community loves it.
Yeah, pinball's one of those where you have some hardcore people that play it. Like, they are pinball 100%.
Yeah, big props to the cabinet collectors of pinball, because they take up so much more space and they're probably harder to acquire.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having one machine.
Yeah, it was one of those at the end of the night when you're down to a couple of tokens or quarters.
Yeah,
you can make a pinball game last a while sometimes. So it was a good. It was a good time sink if you were trying to stretch out your money.
Sure. Rather play pinball than skee ball.
Yeah, fair, definitely. And would last longer. Usually. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those pinball machines would get you. Lords of Thunder on the TurboGrafx CD. I think this is going to be a space shooter.
Okay, y'all ever going to play?
Super well reviewed. It's kind of like an anime.
It didn't look bad.
Anime guy that can fly and shoot things. It's pretty good looking, actually. As shooters go that we look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got perfect scores.
Is that right?
Back in 1993. Good variety.
It's a perfect game.
That's kind of a Castlevania look to it, except it is a side-scrolling shooter.
It's like Sonic has armor on. Supersonic with armor.
I knew that was about to happen. They jumped in the water and came out gigantic.
It came out gigantic.
Final boss.
There's a lot going on the screen. I'm kind of good
on.
without this game, but respect to it, and let me make sure that I put it in my head in 1993. So
right.
Yeah, you got to put it in context.
Here's your final boss. Sort of the face I make every morning, really.
Right on. Somebody needs a dentist, yo. You are fugly, bro.
He has saved up all his power-ups for that fight. Yeah, that really was the final boss. He was ready to deal with things. They're still making games for the NES. Mostly because the install base was gigantic. This is Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Of a shinobi meets steroids from the look of the character. Running on that G.I. Joe engine that we see all the time, I think. A little Donatello action.
Right.
A little Metroid action. All right.
Yep.
And why not? Did you guys ever watch the Jetsons?
Who didn't watch the Jetsons? That's a Gen Xer.
Sometimes, because the show started well before the 90s. Sometimes these games allow us the segue to talk about some of these older things. I bet I've watched 3 episodes of the Jetsons ever.
I don't know if I've watched a complete episode.
Are you
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched
What?
tons. I've watched tons of Flintstones, right? But I can kind of terribly recreate the intro song to the Jetsons, but I just
meet George Jetson?
he's a pilot.
His boy Elroy?
Yeah.
Daughter Judy? Jane, his wife?
You got it. You know it.
Yeah.
I just remembered the.
Yeah, so like within our lifetime, they did like the show was semi-relevant. Like I know we were watching reruns a lot, but they did during our childhood. They did the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones was an event that happened on television.
I remember that event. Yeah.
There was a Jetsons movie in which
Like an animated movie.
yeah, which either Tiffany or Debbie Gibson. I get them mixed up. But
Awesome.
one of them did a song for the movie, so they were still like making new material within our childhood years.
Yeah, that would have had to have been pretty late 80s, possibly early 90s for a Tiffany Debbie Gibson soundtrack appearance.
Yep.
This kind of looks like Rescue Rangers.
It does kind of. Shout out to Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah.
My vote for greatest Disney game.
I love it. It's a tough one. It's a really fun co-op one though.
Yeah, for sure. That had a lot to do with like how I graded games. Like, okay, can I play this with my sister without having to like give up the controller for extended periods of time?
And then if she was tripping, you could just pick her up on Rescue Rangers and throw her across
facts,
the screen.
Facts. I got time for that.
Man, this is very
double jump, George. Double jump.
I'm sorry. What? He just okay.
You saw it. You saw it.
I saw it.
He's got
the ability
anti-gravity
to every now and then flip upside down and float. Okay.
Anti-grav space boots. For sure. He's got a jetpack also. This game is the best game ever.
I'm about to spoil the ending because I don't think we're gonna get around to playing this.
I'm gonna bet that George saves the day.
I wonder what he's saving the day from.
He works for Cogswell Cogs and like the opposing company, wasn't it like Woody's Rivets or some mess? I don't know. Ratchety Rivets, something another.
I have to rely on you as the Jetson expert.
Yes.
I'm amazed at the lack of life experience you guys have with Jetsons.
Yeah.
I think this guy has a cheat code in because I swear he got hit with a rock but didn't get hit with a rock.
Maybe. Typically, this comes from our pals at I think either Nintendo Complete or World of Long Plays, and I've never seen them cheat their way through a game.
Okay.
No, they'll glitch their way through a game if it exists, but here's how to do it. This is it.
Cogswell Caper.
So he destroys some machine. The name of the game is Cogswell's Caper, and that's it. You just get a little exit screen where he flies off, and congratulations, George. Thank you.
Shout out to the Jetsons for The Jetsons are like low key the standard bearer for future technology for me. Like, okay, well,
Did the Jetsons
we'll
think of
really
this
be in the
first?
future when we get flying cars and when we have like electronic or robotic maids. And I guess this is Star Trek though, when we can like print food. And the thing is, we're on our way to all three of those
We
things.
are kind of on our way to those things. From one cartoon to another one, separated by many years, we have a Tiny Toon Adventures sighting.
Tiny Toons was a huge part of my after-school activity.
Yeah, Tiny Toons was the jam, bro. Tiny Toons or Animaniacs? I feel like we've had this conversation before, but let's do it again. Tiny Toons or Animaniacs?
Probably Animaniacs. I was a huge fan of Animaniacs.
I'd say probably Tiny Toons. But I don't remember Animaniacs as well.
And then say flip a coin.
I would need
Flat
to
out flip a coin.
I would need to get a little bit of a refresher on Animaniacs to have a real feeling about it. Maybe I didn't watch as much of it.
I'm sure you did. You remember the theme song?
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Cass? Spit that. Spit those hot fire lyrics for us. What's his cat's name?
I was gonna ask you guys.
No clue. No clue.
Is
Somehow
this supposed to be like Sylvester's kid?
this is also the face I make every morning. This cat. There's Babs, right?
Yep.
Yep. Is that cat legit scared of a frog? I thought she. Some good drawing. You see the energy that she squats with.
I want to see it again.
There's a joke there that we'll leave alone.
Here's
See the energy that she squats with.
what's this guy?
Ham or something?
Oh, that's right. Good call.
I guess
Hamlet, maybe.
Hamlet would be a solid guess, wouldn't it? They did a
Oh,
pretty good
watch
job
Tiny
with the
Toons.
facial expressions on these 8-bit characters. This is the NES game, you know. So
Yeah.
now there's the little duck.
The duck's name was.
I think he might have been one of my favorites, but I can't remember his name. Playing bumper cars with.
I think he was the funniest character.
Can't think of the play on the word Daffy Duck that the little green duck might have been. They had another game on the Super Nintendo, which was a little more relevant.
The
at the time.
Animaniacs?
Yeah, no, the Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons. Okay, gotcha.
Tiny Toon, actually. Oh, you can tell a huge graphical upgrade.
Yeah, it's
like, right
upgrade
off the
for sure.
bat. I gotta say, it looks like a little more care was put into these games than your average licensed cash-in would go at the time.
So Warner Brothers don't play that shiz.
I had some better quality testing. Oh, I was gonna say this is all I ever see when I'm skimming through it is Buster, but the name of the game is Buster Bust Loose. Really good look to it though.
I'd play this now.
Yeah,
I'd play either one of
Cameos.
these now, to be quite honest with you.
they look pretty fun.
This game can sit where it's at, although it looks good. And Disney present arms.
Yeah, let's compare it to the Disney game of the month. This is World of Illusion with Donald and Mickey. Playthrough here is Donald. Wait, a lot more pixelated, but it was well received.
And what is this on?
This is on the Sega Genesis. Pretty good.
Disney does good games.
Yeah, pretty good colors, and as I'm clicking through, a lot of variety in the levels.
Donald mean mugging.
Looks like you might be traveling through
Okay.
some Disney worlds or something.
Bruh, I've read that Alice in Wonderland book that we got from Daddy Daughter Date Night to Elena so many times at this point.
That's
I
awesome.
read it again. That's what she wanted to read before bed last night. Amy's going to some play in Auburn today that in some way Lin-Manuel write, edit, or something. But she's going to some play. So we got to figure out what it is that we're going to do. And I think we're going to watch Alice in Wonderland.
The animated one or the Johnny Depp
Oh, yeah,
one?
for sure. Oh, God bless Johnny Depp. I feel like I'm about to say something that makes Cass question our friendship, but Johnny Depp, bro, and what's his face? What's the guy's name that makes the movies with him so much recently? That just cast Johnny Depp in every movie.
Tim
Burton.
Tim Burton. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so tired of those guys, bro.
I love Johnny Depp, but I did not care for the Alice movies.
No, they're I didn't watch the second one.
I didn't watch the second one either.
Horrible.
The first one
it was horrible.
First one was all I could do. It was, yeah. This might upset some people too, because there's been live action Alice in Wonderland movies our whole life. They'll come out every decade or less. Some never make it to the theater or whatever. But that Johnny Depp one was the worst one of all.
It stands out there as a really bad one for sure.
It's the only time I've ever watched one and not loved it. You know what I mean? Like I've seen I don't know if they were BBC productions or whatever, but they would come on like PBS or public television when we were young. I'm like, oh, they were like long and interesting. Johnny Depp one was not good.
Yeah, not
to me. So
to me, same with the Willy Wonka movie.
You can kind of like feel like they're the same movie in some way.
Yep, same bad movie.
I'll take the Willy Wonka one over the Alice one though.
Sure.
Shadow of the Beast 2 on the Sega Genesis.
Shadow of the Beast 2. What a super intricate introduction they got going on there. I felt like that was going to go on for forever.
It did go on for some
jumping
time.
Sharks. That's awesome.
This caveman is having a rough day. Thank you for saving me, but your princess is in another castle.
Right. Side shout out to Gargoyles. Just seeing the Gargoyles cartoons since we're talking Disney, and I just saw that.
So we're watching I believe this is World of Long Plays, who we get a lot of footage from for these playthroughs. This game only takes 19 minutes to beat.
Okay.
That'd be kind of a good rental, but a disappointing purchase once you get.
Yeah, if you bought
was
this,
it called a speed run, or
is
it just like a short game?
It is technically a speed run, but they're not taking any shortcuts.
Okay.
And like I've forwarded, almost 15 minutes ahead in the game, and it still looks like we're kind of on the same level. So
yeah, so
not much to this. Oh, we finally
doesn't appear to be many enemies either.
I was thinking your guy might like armor up as the game went, but no, that's just what he looks like.
He's just naked caveman throughout with some weird echo magic.
For the Sega CD. Their own little news channel from Core. I was like, all right, we're going to move on.
Yeah,
I had to load
dad
up
on the news.
scene. And now a word from He-Man.
He is slightly upset.
Or maybe not a word from He-Man.
He's about to activate Wolf Child mode because that's the name of this game.
Oh no. God,
I
needed a job as a video game namer.
I love the
Video
walking
Game
animation.
Naming Institute.
This was really belabored more than I was hoping for. I just want. Okay, here we go. He's going to the
That's
chamber.
a bit much. Oh, this is miserable.
It's coming. This is just the introduction of the game. There we go.
Yeah.
I am Wolfchild.
Did you have to watch this every time you played this game?
Probably.
Yeah, I'd be good and pissed off.
Hopefully it was skippable with the start button. There he is, Wolfchild. Saving the day like a Wolfchild do.
So, what world are we living in right now?
The future.
Clearly.
Based on 1980.
With Michael J. Fox's Teen Wolf.
They couldn't acquire the name Teen Wolf 3, so they went with Wolfchild.
Shout out to Team Wolf.
Had to be the inspiration.
Those are great movies. Okay. Oh, it's a pig man. Sega.
Another Sega CD game of the month. I think we've seen a different incarnation of this one. See, they really had to. Whoa.
Boobies.
Are they, or is she like bringing avocados? I can't tell.
Hey, he knows what's up.
Nice.
Oops. Oh, she lost something. What is happening right there, Daniel?
I'm not.
What are these games that we never got access to? What is happening? She's got a long back. She either has a long back or a long butt. I'm confused about what's happening.
He stole his woman. Oh man, this is the risque little carrier ice screen there.
I sent that chick outside to take out the trash. Where's she at though?
I mean,
This dude.
We're going based on looks. I think she just upgraded.
She just upgraded.
Where's his pants?
Chuck Rock is now on a quest to find his woman. Who's been taken.
Johnny Bravo had something to do with the development of this game.
That chin is something serious.
Well, fast forward and see if he
What kind of weird thing is it that happens in television and gaming where these horrible looking people end up with these hot wives? Is he hitting with his belly? He's fighting with his belly.
I think that's...
I don't know. Does it come from the imagination of
fugly guys?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a word to use. There. Go get your woman back, Chuck.
How did he win? How did he just win that fight?
TKO. They just stopped the fight.
It's bad. It's really bad.
This one was well received, and we'll just take a quick shot of it. It was Jaguar XJ220. Very Top Gear looking, super fun racing game, but you're only racing in Jaguars, so depending on your feelings about the Jaguar, you either were or were not interested in this game. But as racing games go, would have been a lot of fun.
I have never played a racing game for the vehicle.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it was more for like the tracks and the controls, and was it fun? So,
you know what that was to me?
What's that?
It was a white car. You know what I mean? I was playing a racing game with a white car.
Hey, a lot of the time in this year, like that was really your customization of the car. It's like, oh, does this thing come in black? You know, this is my Christian Bale of 1993. Okay, I'm playing with the black car.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks pretty good.
And can I hit people? That was really the standard for me at this point.
Like a road rash.
Like I play a racing game, but I really need to be able to shoot people.
Put a guy into the wall. Okay. Now this next one though, I'm gonna spend a quick moment on Digital Pictures, the guys that brought you or had a hand in bringing you Night Trap, Double Switch.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Did you see the name? Okay.
I missed the bus.
So I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think there were 3 in this set where it was called Make My Video.
I do remember this.
And there were 3 of them. There were Crisscross, Marky Mark, and NXS, I think were the 3 groups that they did this. And basically you just had the entire footage of the video and maybe a little B-roll footage for it, and 2 or 3 songs from the group, and you were charged with making a music video. And then you would, submit your video to this guy, I guess, and he would play it, and then you would get positive or negative feedback based on probably some very random factors.
Right.
And this seemed like the most boring idea ever to me. So I Missed the Bus, Warm It Up, and Jump were the 3 songs that you could do. Oh, the caller's like, I want to see the video for Jump. Put something together. This is actually the most of this game I've ever seen.
I've never even heard of this game.
Yeah, they're super obscure. As far as I don't know. I'm sure they released the 3 simultaneously, because I can't imagine they would have released one and said, hey, this was great, let's do some more. The Hula Hoop Girl gets a lot of footage. I
definitely never played it, but I remember that this was a thing.
It's supposed to help you teach video editing or something?
Teach? You want games to teach people?
All right. Jumping on to Super Nintendo. Here's Bob, which is B.O.B., and I can't remember what the B.O.B. stands for. But he's
Bombs over Baghdad.
that is correct. That is correct. The Mario overworld action. Just a robot fighting aliens. Nothing to see here. This one also got perfect scores. I can't remember the team that developed it. Not specifically Interplay. But I don't know, I was trying to give them a shout out here if I saw it in the intro. Anyway, this is called the Lost Vikings.
Vikings.
And he rotated between 3 different Vikings. I think they might have had different abilities.
It's like Yosemite Sam becomes a Viking.
That yeah, you can't help but kind of feel like that's the style there. Candyland.
Vikings go to Candyland.
Vikings in Candyland.
Vikings in electronic space.
Then they make it home.
Congratulations.
Sim builder for the Super Nintendo called Utopia Creation of a Nation. Did you guys ever do any of the Sim Cities or anything like that?
Negative.
Yeah, I was a SimCity kid for a while.
I loved SimCity on the Super Nintendo. This one looks a little too cumbersome.
I always played it on the PC, never on a game console.
It's like small but complicated. This one is at the same time.
I always wanted to play The Sims, but I never did.
I played the first one. It was pretty fun, like just creating chaos for your people.
My niece is about that life.
Here we have Outlander, which feels very Mad Max inspired racing, combat racing on the Super Nintendo, and you actually get out of the car.
Oh, you got guns and stuff?
I
I can be down for that.
Are you supposed to be fighting this woman? Because it's not going super well. That's no way to live, man. Get back in the car. Get out of here. I guess something about prehistoric. Maybe Bonk's Adventure did this and gave us the theme that we should do a lot more stuff. And feels like you're playing with a little caveman boy or something. This one has a tail. Congo's Caper. Street Combat. Okay, yeah, not very fair fight.
What is he fighting? What is that?
Oh, maybe this is a one-on-one. Maybe this is a versus fighter. That would make a little more sense.
Oh my god, what just happened there?
There are no health bars that are doing anything that I can see.
Is he fighting Happy Dwarf? If CJ has narcolepsy?
He's fighting.
Oh my god! Well, he put them hands on him then, didn't he?
It's Ben Affleck's Daredevil that he's fighting right now.
Daredevil.
I think we can see why we've never heard of this one.
That's no good.
All right, I'm in the home stretch here. We've got
Bring us home.
Terminator II, the arcade game, comes home to the Sega Genesis.
Yay.
Aiming reticle, but otherwise all the action.
Oh, you know, yeah, this was a pretty good game in the arcades.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you were using the guns in the arcade.
Yep. Yeah, this was an low-key arcade classic for me.
Yeah, these arcade shooters were usually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Always more difficult when you had to, like, move the cursor around the stage. So you lost a little bit from that. We got the T-1000 battle at the end. Yeah. You gotta, don't hit John Connor there in the background.
Don't hit John Connor. Move, Mr. Connor. Move, split that wig, boy. Crotch shot.
Oh, so this isn't how the game ends. The movie ends, is it? I thought we put him in dry ice. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, he thaws out and comes back together after they hit him with the dry ice, right?
He pulls himself back together.
You've saved John Connor in the future.
Then they have to melt him.
Superhero.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened at the end.
Yeah, and then he melts himself, right?
I believe so.
Superhero
then,
face off
Arnold
with him.
kills
Yeah.
himself.
Then he gives the big thumbs up, the big emotional send-off.
Yep. Makes me cry every time. Superman.
Shout out to Superman, the greatest superhero of all time.
Well, because he was written that way, he's undefeatable. He's pretty cool, though. But my favorite superhero also got a game this month.
Yeah.
Batman Returns. Definitely bigger sprites on Batman.
Definitely.
Have a dark...
Batman lives in a cooler world with better stories and all that. But we just have to acknowledge Superman stomps a mud hole in Batman's brains.
Until he makes that suit made
Batman's,
out of kryptonite.
Batman's just a regular guy who relies on tech.
Batman is a regular guy who relies on tech. I ended up like super invested in like doubling down on people putting respect on Superman's name. Because like we got to a point where Batman was in the same light as the way Daniel was talking about Superman, where Batman was just like becoming written to be invincible. Like, oh, Batman's a super ninja who walks around with kryptonite in his bat belt. He's got everything in that belt now, and he can handle all situations. But I do like Batman better. Batman lives in a cooler universe, definitely with better villains.
Right, and Gotham City's pretty awesome.
Gotham City's pretty awesome, but Superman is that dude.
Breeze through the sports section real quick. Got Roger Clemens,
cheater,
the honorable Roger Clemens, MVP baseball.
Is there steroid mode in this game?
No, this is
pre juice up.
93. You had to use the cheat code. Pre-steroid use. This is not a great looking baseball game compared to some
there
of the
should
others.
Be a baseball game that allows you to juice up. You know what I mean? Like just power up. All of a sudden, I'm going to the bat, and you've got 3 steroid users on this team. You better use them wisely. We should totally double down on that.
I suppose.
Feel free to use that world.
MLB, the show 2020 should have a mode where you can just know what pitch is coming, I guess, right?
There you go.
Yeah, if you're the Houston Astros.
I have a trash can banging in the...
Right.
Listen closely. Oh, man, that would have been a great addition. Just listen closely, and you might hear the banging of a trash can. Let's compare it to EA Sports offering with Tony La Russa baseball, which I think looks much better.
Yes.
Back when EA was actually the better sports game maker.
When they were building a quality sports empire and not coasting,
resting on their laurels.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Nowadays, if it's in the game for an additional fee.
Right.
And on that,
if it's in the game, then we're going to make sure that Sega is removed from the competition so that they aren't allowed to put it in the game, actually. You know what this is?
This is PGA Tour 2. Not a bad looking golf game for 93.
Back before golf games were fun.
Yeah.
Back before golf simulators were fun.
The aiming is tough. From the okay, you're aiming the putt. I was seeing that reticle aiming off in the distance. Nice par.
Nice on.
Hold it. Learned everything I know about golf. I learned from playing Hot Shots.
Bro, that was the introduction. Like, oh, okay, that's how golf works. That's what they're doing on Sundays when I'm not watching.
That's what those words mean. Nice on, nice approach.
Yeah, that was without a doubt my introduction to golf. Without a doubt. It really doesn't look like that bad of a game.
Perfect score. Perfect score release for the Neo Geo as Fatal Fury comes home.
Yeah, it does.
There's my girl Mai doing what she does. It's good. It has its charm for sure.
It's alright.
Graphically, I don't know.
That was Andy and Terry for sure on those games.
There's Terry.
Is Terry on this one? Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, Terry's the face of the franchise.
Terry's the guy.
And my game of the month. It was a tough month because there wasn't any all-star picks this month, but I was wondering if you guys remember this one from the arcade.
Nope.
As shooters go, this was a tough one. Mad Dog 2: The Lost Gold.
Yeah, I don't
One of
remember
those
this.
full motion
so
video
far.
westerns. You can see you get like a short ammo count here, and unlike most shooters,
You look honest, my friend.
you had a very specific window of opportunity where you would die really quick. You know, full motion video, kind of like some of the stuff we've seen on Sega CD, except I guess similar in some ways to what's that game, Dragon's Lair, where you've just got to like aim the cursor at the right spot at the right time or you instantly lose. The high stakes game of could you play out this whole Western movie.
I feel like I should remember this, but I don't.
It was relatively popular in arcades.
You know what I mean? Like, the idea of it seems familiar, but just looking at it, and maybe it's because I never actually played it.
It had one
Because
of
it
those,
doesn't look fun. It does look interesting, though.
right. It looks like one that maybe you'd want to watch somebody else play that had invested the hundreds of dollars to know when to aim at what.
And that's the thing. I feel like it probably costed a lot of money.
Yeah, similar
So-
to Dragon's Lair. Yeah, like a $1 to start, and you last
Yeah,
1
like,
minute.
no, I'm not giving you $1 for potentially 30 seconds. That's just not a thing.
Nope, I'm gonna go play pinball.
Facts.
Well, there you have it. These are your games of March 1993. Stick around on the channel. We've got movies, television, music, and more coming up soon.
Hadouken!